Do you know how Bosnia is most often defined? Well, a response to that question refers to a very common Bosnian quote, very famous in our country. Where the logic has its end, that is where Bosnia begins. But can that be a reasonable response? And can a lack of logic be the reason for repeated conflicts in our region? Let us have a look. Could it maybe be the communication? You know, you might have been told that we speak 3 different languages in Bosnia. Let us take the cigarette pack as an example. All our languages, our 3 languages, they sound the same, they mean the same, only one is written differently. So it cannot be the language or the communication as the cause for the conflict. What about religion, as we have been told again and again? The 3 world religions did not teach us to hurt and to kill each other. So we can exclude religion as a reason for war, for any war in the world, I guess. What is it then? In my opinion, it is the hate. It is the hate which has been intensifying for hundreds of years, as my country and our people have been treated as transitory items for mighty world powers. It is the hate which has been based on and grown from continuous dissatisfaction and frustration. Frustration with our legal systems, which came from outside and were made by people from outside. Frustration with our leaders, and a high dissatisfaction with our economic situation. What did the war leave in Bosnia and Herzegovina? It left complete destruction. Destruction of homes, destruction of houses, destruction of lives, including destruction of ethics. My Bosnian people seem to be unwilling to work. They seem to be not willing to achieve anything in their lives. They seem to be standing still and waiting for somebody from outside to come and to save them. It's an absolutely logical consequence, don't you think? As we have been taught like that for hundreds of years. When you travel Bosnia, you will realize how empty our country is. There are many, many villages which are left, ruined by war and abandoned by people. Thousands and thousands of acres are lying there unexploited and are turning into a jungle in every sense. So what can we do about that? Well, giving up is not an option. My name is Ivana Stjepanovic. I'm a Bosnian refugee who returned to my home country after 3 decades. I have had the privilege to grow up in Austria and to take a different look, a look from the distance at my home country again, which led me to turn back to Bosnia. I am the woman who has been told, a snowflake does not make an avalanche, or the first swallow does not bring spring. But let me tell you what I'm doing down there concretely. I have decided to take this energy of hate we have down there, to take the left villages, the empty fields, you know, and to turn them into something good. This is how Bosnia Grows Organic was born. Our business concept is based on leasing overgrown fields in left villages, cleaning them from overgrowth and from war ruins, and plant aromatic and medicinal herbs on them. Why? Because we definitely need some healing down there. We plant organic as we do feel responsible for the people working on our fields. We feel responsible for the people who are going to consume our organic herbs one day. Our aim is to create a Bosnian brand, a strong Bosnian brand, which will show the world how wonderfully diverse we are and how much of the good can come from Bosnia. Our further aim is to reunite people who have forgotten how much they have in common and how wonderfully diverse they are, and that it were not their diversities which led to the war in the 90s. In order to encourage revival in the region, we leave space for every lease giver where she or he can rebuild their homes again. We are trying. One of the aims is to reunite people again. How are we doing that? We bring different ethnicities back close together. We make them work with each other, work on something very meaningful. We make them part of the project. How? We tell them what to do and how to do it and why do they have to do that, you know? So they understand. By bringing them back together, we can literally watch how a discussion starts on our fields again. Because now they have one more topic besides the hate and the dissatisfaction. It is our project they're being part of. By offering an atmosphere at our fields which is very cooperative, you know, very respectful, we do not regard where somebody comes from or which religion he or she belongs to. We increase satisfaction of each individual in our workforce. Thus, staying in Bosnia suddenly makes more sense than fleeing the country because of some economic causes. We bring back our lease givers. You know, some of them haven't been there since 3 decades. You can see the emotions here on the picture, which we cope with almost every day. We bring them back, and suddenly they are turning back more often. Why? Because they have a reason why. Our village is turning back to life again, you know, and they turn back and they are hanging with our team and talk to us, and they're coming more often. Some of them are even considering building a second home or rebuilding the home there back again. As more and more producers, this is Rada with her lovely 2 daughters from Banja Luka, address us, we are planning to start cooperations within our Bosnian brand with other Bosnian producers. You know, they keep telling us how inspirational we are, because we show them how they can do business with the resources we do have in a long term and in a successful way. Is it hard? Yes, it is. We are coping with challenges every day. What do you think? How long does it take you to register a tractor in Bosnia? Well, we would have been expecting, you know, that it takes 30 minutes max. This is an easy one, you know. It took us 3 days and 7 visits to that department there, to the institution. Being a startup, how long do you think does it take you to get a tax number? Well, in Austria, it's something about 5 days on average. In Bosnia, it took us 5 months. You know, we have been very well trained in our patients, and we're on the best way to becoming Dalai Lamas down there. And everything went well in the end. Does it hurt? Yes, it does. It hurts almost every day. You know, a reasonable aspect to change, to consider, is that it does hurt. But we are being fed by good vibes from the people on our project every day, and by the results, by the amazing results we have in the meantime, after 1 year of work. I will show you some before and after pictures right now. What we have done so far is we have leased 40 hectares from families who had to flee the village to save their lives. We have cleaned 10 hectares by now. 5 of them are already planted. We are planning our next planting session this autumn, and we will focus only at cultures or on cultures which the market needs, of course, and which can very, very well grow in our climatic conditions and on our quality of soil. This is how a field looked like at the beginning. This is how it looks like right now. Again, a before and after picture. We have been told that we will never be able to create some kind of a workforce due to the reason I was telling you about, you know, the people who are unwilling to work, etc., etc. By now, we are a team of 11 people, and it did not become truth, what we have been told at the beginning. Now, standing here in front of you, you remember, I have been told that a snowflake does not make an avalanche, and yeah, that the first swallow does not bring spring. Now I'm standing here with some guys of my team in front of you, and I really want to invite you to become snowflakes in your neighborhoods, in your partnerships, your relationships, in the regions you live in. Because, you know, does the first swallow bring spring? Yes, it does. Thank you.